Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Mine Pokemon Trading Card Game podcast. I'm Lucas, and I'm here with our freshly tanned friend Landon. How you
That's
doing, Landon?
me. I'm doing very well, Lucas. I have just returned from the Mexican state of Nayarit in Bucerias there.
Oh, you,
So yeah, just had some sun, had some relaxing in the ocean. Didn't do much drinking because I had the poops. Everybody, I did for
yeah.
about 6 days. Yeah, it was
He
terrible.
he texted me. He texted me like, "Dog, I can't stop pooping. I ate a bad fish at like
Yes, I did. The
11."
mistake I made is I had some ceviche. We were out with some friends that were from home as well, and they recommended we have it, and it was a mistake. It truly was.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm freshly back. We're here to talk about some new cards and our
I just want to mention.
favorite decks.
I want to mention. So, I went to a challenge. Oh my God, we haven't recorded this in a long time. Okay, so challenge
Lucas says tournaments. I do not.
Challenge Cup Cup Challenge Cup Challenge, and I won a challenge, a cup. I won two challenges and a cup, and then yesterday, at the fifth challenge I went, at the third challenge I went to, I lost my first round to a Charizard with Lost Box. So, you know, that was a pretty good weekend for me. I think I'm number three in North America for NAIC stipend.
Let's go. Let's go.
I think, yeah.
That's broken, bro.
After Europe,
Congratulations.
y'all will see me at number one. Mark my word.
For real. I'm feeling really good about UIC too, honestly. I
UIC is
mean, I
looking
have
really good.
not. Yeah, I feel really good about it. I feel like we're gonna have a good deck. We're gonna play It's just fun in these new formats, so you can just pick a good list, and no one else has like established lists to play on, and you're really rewarded for like good deck building. I
Yeah.
like doing that. Fun.
So,
But anyways,
yeah, what we're gonna do is today we're gonna talk about some new cards. We're gonna talk about some of our favorite
good one.
decks, and we have a hot take on our favorite deck right now. So
Yeah,
let's
I think it's cooking. But
yeah.
there's some really good cards in this. I think we can get ahead into it. But there's some really cool. This is for the next set, by the way, not Temporal Forces, not EUIC. Set after. But Fiona,
Let's do this. Fionn. Beckon. Put a support card from your discard pile into your hands, and for a water energy, you do 20 times the amount of damage of times the amount of energy on your opponent's side of Pokemon. So starting off very
it's pretty
weak.
mid.
This card's very bad.
Yeah, this is like the Reggie Lecky that returns a trainer, but he just has to be a supporter. So I don't think this is very good.
And it has 70 HP and not 130.
Yeah, I mean the second attack's okay because you're already probably
Yeah,
playing water energy.
I
If you're
mean,
like if they've been locked by your beckon loop, you can then win the game by attrition,
this is never
except for
gonna
when they
see
don't put
play,
any
guys.
energies on there.
This will never have a limitless page. Don't be fooled by
True.
Landon.
Hey,
Okay,
Sander might cook something.
true. Diplin. By the way, I want to shout out Antoine Boulet for these
True.
translations.
Goat.
Goat,
Goat.
Goat Antoine, thank you so much. Landon, why don't you read Diplin here?
Okay, we got a bad one here. Syrup Catcher. You get to boss one of their things and do 70 damage to the new Pokemon. This is not very good. I mean, I guess you could like reversal,
Yeah,
but I don't think you're doing this.
you're not doing this too
Just
much.
play the supporter. That's called boss's orders
Oh,
instead.
true, bro. That's true. I never heard of that card. Yeah,
Really?
I think Driplin's like the only upside is that this is a continuous gust effect every turn, but like you already
It
have that.
dies.
You already have that with Jinx. Yeah, you
You
have to
already have
like
boss with like pow pads if you really
yeah,
needed
you
to.
would have to do it with control where you would have to like syrup catcher late game and then you're just like
You're
it's never
cooking
gonna work.
without
This
the
is not
control
gonna have a
decks.
limitless page either. Lucky Helmet is
This has
back.
been in format before. This has been played.
If the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it is knocked out, you draw two cards. So, I think
I
this
remember
card
this
is
stopped playing Gyarados
Gyarados.
in
Oh my gosh, Ancient Origins.
yeah. Yeah, this card was actually pretty decent. I don't think it's very good anymore, but it's like been played
It's like
before,
fine.
so
I think it could be good in
Gift
like a
energy
tank
exists.
deck.
So
I thought
oh true.
Prim-
Stonejourner VMAX. If there was like a Stonejourner deck or
didn't
something.
Primal Groudon play this at one point?
Maybe, but I don't think it really did. Because you always wanted like hard charm or focus sash.
Oh yeah, true. So you wanted to physically take less damage. Yeah, I didn't really play much Mega Groudon or Primal Groudon. I was just beginning when that was a thing.
That deck was sick. I remember playing Fairy Drop
Oh, he
in
like
Standard
50,
Ground with.
he
I
had a
played Steven. Actually, Jackson, I'll give Jackson a shout out here. One of our friends has given me a full art Steven that I have somewhere in one of my binders. It's a prized possession of mine. It's pretty sick.
but you don't know the exact location of it.
I think it's
Yeah,
in I
it's
think it's
fine.
in one of the binders behind me. But Lucky
WD.
Helmet. I don't. This probably won't be like a great card, but it has seen play before.
It will,
I
it
think if this
will.
is like a Lucas said tanking deck would be kind of interesting, and or like aggressive decks like Gyarados that just try to not to get like Ionode, but Gift Energy
True,
kind of
but that
is
doesn't
probably just better than this.
really work with tool removal. Like in the future,
Yeah, just get vacuumed.
if they don't print like I don't know a vacuum or something, it can get pretty weird. If they don't print like tool
You know,
grabber, vacuum, or jammer or anything, then Lucky Helmet
Lucky
can
Egg
be
was
play.
just in format, and that was not good. I don't think this will be good.
Lucky Egg saw play.
Yeah, but it wasn't like fantastic. I think if that card wasn't like great, then this card probably
Yeah,
won't be.
Lucky Egg was kind of broken. The Lucky Egg is just a better Lucky Helmet in a lot of situations.
Yeah,
Tank decks are the only exception because tank decks naturally want to build their hand. But
yeah. I think this card would have been really good in Stonejourner VMAX.
true, Stone Trigger VMAX would have loved
I
it
think
because
we can
it's
move on
infinite
from the
energies.
Lucky Helmet.
Nah, let's talk about it for another hour. Walking Wake.
Card's bad.
Why don't you talk about it, Landon, then?
Okay, Walking Wake. I don't like this one very much. 130 HP water type. It's an ancient Pokemon, so maybe some Sada action here. One water, 20, and then you heal 20 from itself. It's kind of synergistic with the next attack. Water, colorless, cleaving wave. 20 per damage counter you put on it, and you can put up to 9. So you can go to 40 HP left and do 180.
Yeah.
But the problem with this is you can't stream it, and you also put yourself to 40 hit points, so you're pretty like dead to anything. Not that you really care because you're a one prizer, but
it doesn't hit a viable enough weakness because I remember there was a deck. It was Breloom Frostlass.
yeah, that was in Worlds 19. Yeah,
Worlds 19, and you would Frostlass, which was like similar to this effect, and the only reason it was good was because it hit the numbers and it hit the weakness of Zard.
Yeah.
So like, water isn't a prevalent enough weakness to justify it, and also is too expensive of an attack cost. Like I think.
Yeah, you'd have to play Sada or
I wouldn't even mind. I literally wouldn't even mind if they printed a card that was like 2 energy, this effect, ancient. Like I think this on a 2 energy with an ancient could be fine.
Yeah, kind of like Thunderous. Thunderous is okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like. I think 180 for 2 is kind of broken though. Like, that's kind of insane. We've
Maybe.
never really seen
It's like
that.
this card probably will never see play because maybe when Snorlax rotates, but if you're wanting to play this in Bax Caliber, you would just play Snorlax instead. Or yeah, Chen Pao.
Or like Wishawashi even.
Yeah,
no,
or literally anything else.
That's rotating.
You just can't stream this attack. Like you can't attack with it twice. You could, but you just kill yourself, which is not worth the payoff of this card. I mean, maybe if you like Bravery Charmed it or Lux Caped it, you could do more attacks, but it's just not good enough.
They would have to print some crazy ancient synergy and ancient synergy and insane fire types, which there is a Mad Kagari X later. There is a Mad Kagari X later, but I don't think Mad Kagari X will be good enough for Walking Wake, and you need like energy switches and all of that. You need with the current ancient pool, it's just not achievable. Oh wait, I'm getting Discord pings. I'm gonna do not disturb myself. Sorry. I do this. I feel like I do this every episode.
You do this every time, but it's fine.
It's on do not disturb. Okay. Yeah.
I think we can move on from Walking Wake though.
It's just too much thing. With the current ancient pool.
Pokemon though, I'm just looking at it continuously. It's like the sickest looking like raptor, whatever. Sure. Suicune got cooler. I think this looks to me, maybe this is controversial, cooler than regular Suicune.
Honestly.
I also think that all three of them, Raging Bolt is kind of lit. People hate on that thing. I like Raging Bolt. I think it's super cool.
Got the neck stilts.
Yeah. I think it's sick. I like that its head is like in the clouds, like literally. But anyways, next card.
Okay. Iron Leaves. I made a post about this on Twitter.
You did go viral.
I got like 96 likes because I literally
you know it on the dot.
Something like that. I don't know. Because this card.
Oh, you're the expert. Talk about it.
Because this card does 160 damage. Iron Leaves. So it's a future Pokemon. So like, I guess you get Miraidon. For 1 grass energy, recovery net. Choose up to 2 Pokemon from your discard pile. Reveal them and put them into your hand. Grass colorless. Vengeful Eng. 100 plus 60 if 60 damage. If any of your Pokemon are knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn. I'm very mad. This card should have done 170. This card should have been printed with 170. Everyone's talking about, oh, just play Iron Crowns. But, like, this card should have just done 170. Because, like, then you can actually play it in... I don't know. This card would have been sick in, like, Charon Box. Because Charon Box, funnily
No, this
enough...
would have just been good in Lost Box if it did 170.
True. This would have been insane in Lost Box if it did 170. Like, this card should just do 170. Like, I don't understand. Why are you so scared to kill a Charizard EX? I mean, okay, I guess they were probably thinking that would actually make... No, that wouldn't even be broken. Charizard can just re-add Lost City. That's not even rotating.
Yeah.
I guess they're thinking for the future.
Probably won't so much play. I could see it like
Lost City is rotating with Mirage Gate, so the Lost Zone engine isn't even there anymore. So, like, actually
can you get this, Lucas, that they're from the same set, Lost Origins, those two Lost Zone cards?
Actually, Lost City should just... They should just not print... Okay, my take is this should have done 170, so that Lost Box had a good way to beat Zard. So Zard had to, like, Iono Lost City it, and then you had to play 2 Iron Leaves, which is only good in the matchup, which makes Zard a niche deck. So then you cut the Iron Leaves from your deck, and then Zard becomes good. So then
Lucas
Zard,
is punching
Iron
the
Leaves
air
is
right now.
And then you also just shouldn't have printed anything. Okay, after this would be happening, you just shouldn't have printed anything that would make Iron Leaves actually insane. Just, like, make sure that Lost City isn't in the format, and then you can just make sure that this card isn't insanely good when Lost City is in the format, because if Lost City isn't in the format, then you can go Super Odd. I'm granting.
Yeah. I did not know you had such strong feelings about this Iron Leaves, Lucas.
This card should have just done 170.
Yeah, this card as is probably not going to be great. Maybe in future box, because you can put the Iron Crowns down and like one shot it.
Should not have done 170. This card would actually be very good if it did.
This card would have been like really strong if it could Oko Zard, but it can't. So we should probably move on.
Okay.
It only has 120 hit points, which is cringe. 130, it's so much better.
I take it back. I think this card should do 160. I was just modding. Because the thing is, 170.
That was an experience.
Because 170 is like insane. With Lost Box, you would just go respond KO. And Lost Box now has to like Mawile lock things and TM Devo. It's like intricate, but instead it would be like hee ooga ooga Iron Leaves. But I don't know.
Man, okay, next card.
I think this card's fine the way it is.
It's okay.
Yeah, it is there.
Yes, I love this card. Enhanced Hammer is so good.
Go on the
I'm
rant
so happy we're getting this
Costa
back.
Rica regionals.
This card is so sick.
Talk about Costa Rica regionals with Sylveon Jackson and Enhanced Hammer.
I have never been to Costa Rica.
Puerto Rico?
Not
what regional did you go to?
Costa Mesa. It's in California. You lived
same thing.
Totally different places.
I'm joking.
Anyways, this card is really good. Fan of Waves sucks. This card broken. If you haven't played the game when Enhanced Hammer is legal, this card is just like good in a lot of decks. You just get guaranteed Crushing Hammer on a lot of things. Play special energies, and you don't really have to.
Enhanced Hammer. You can go Iono, Enhanced Hammer, kill Gift Energy. Like Lugia.
This makes Gift Energy way worse. This makes Mist Energy way worse. Like
Mist Energy. That's huge.
This is like a huge nerf for Arc, I think, because everyone's just gonna play Hammer, and then you have to touch Basic Energy turn 1, which turns off like 40% or 30% of your like attachments turn 1. Just like this is like very commonly like a 2-of just in like the average deck when this is legal and standard.
True. I don't know if it's gonna be the same because there's no equivalent to Zoroark GX where
I guess so.
Double colors.
Maybe like right now Mew is rotating, so this would have been really good against like Mew and in Mew. This is really good against Lugia. Like obviously really good against them. It's going to be good against anything with double turbo. Like I think any like Gardevoir might want to play one of this. Just things that can draw cards and keep going. Maybe you don't want this in like a super aggressive deck, but any like mid-rangey defensive decks or like control decks for sure want this, especially if you can like loop it. It's just guaranteed energy removal on an item.
It's guaranteed energy removal, which I really like. It's like this is a good card to have because then there's plays of like, should I attach the special energy? One's gonna get E-hammered. Like, how many gift energy should I put on this Lugia? You know, there's these more intricate thought processes that you have to have when Enhanced Hammer's in the format, and I like the card. I think the card's very good. I also kind of like it where it is right now, where it's niche, where it's not in like. I
remember last time this was legal, like in Phantom Forces. I guess Guardians Rising too.
Guardians Rising.
this card will just be so good, Lucas. This card is really.
Yeah, Enhanced Hammer is very good. Like, it's just gonna be.
The last 2 times it was legal, it was like a 1 to 2 of, and I'd say like about half or more of the decks in standard.
Yeah, like, the thing is, this is just an easily includable card, as there's no, like, it's not like Crushing Hammer with flip a coin, so then there's a 50% chance. It's like, okay, I'll just play Enhanced Hammer so my late game matchup gets better. Or I'll play
Think
Enhanced
of like
Hammer.
Super Scoop Up versus Scoop Up Net.
Oh, true. Super Scoop Up was, like, way worse than Scoop Up Net, because Scoop Up Net was in 100% chance to pick up your Pokemon.
Yeah, this card is like, they're bringing back all the same trainers. Like, we got Counter Catcher, we've got like Iono, which is basically N. This is like
it's better N.
Yeah, so we're just getting all the good trainers. This is not a broken card. This card is just really good. I think it's very healthy for the format.
Yeah,
it just kind of keeps things in check. It's like a nice counter.
I like what Pokemon's doing. Like, they're
it punishes special energies. Like, people have been playing Giacomo. Just play this. This is so much better than Giacomo.
Yeah,
I remember I played against a Lost Box player that plays Giacomo.
Like, oh my god. Giacomo is such an ugly card to play in your deck. Like, you would just rather be playing Enhanced Hammer. Sorry, it wasn't because of Giacomo. It's just like, I hate having to use the supporter to discard special energies instead.
Yeah. No, it's like, it's really weak to play it as a supporter, but that's all we had. And this is just so much better. It's an item.
Insanely better. It's way better.
And you can loop it with like control decks.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
This in the Magnezone control deck we are cooking, that we've been talking about for so long and haven't put up. But
we still have to make a deck profile on that.
Yes, we do. But we're gonna be grinding.
I actually don't think that deck's good. Like, the more I think about it, that deck just seems very easily destroyable.
Maybe, but Hammer.
They bossed the Magneton, and then on your bench that you need to loop, and then you're like, ooh. But then because eventually they put you in a situation. I think one rare candy's good in the deck. No,
you can't do it because
you can't play rare candy. So they just kill Magneton, and then they do damage to the Magnezone, and then you have to like Turo. And if they use their bosses wisely, it must not be.
I don't know. All I know is Enhanced Hammer is really good, and it's gonna see a lot of play, and you're probably gonna play it in your deck too. So
you're gonna play this.
Yes, you listener, Johnny, you are gonna play Enhanced Hammer in your deck.
You too, Matthew.
Yeah.
Okay. Perrin. So, this card is kind of cool. Reveal up to 2 Pokemon from your hand and shuffle them into your deck. Then sort your deck up to that many Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So, it's like worse Pokemon communication. And I think if the format was slower, I think this would be a better card. But
you thought if this was double comp search?
Reveal up to 2 Pokemon from your hand.
I think this card would have. I think that's actually pretty balanced. If this was double comp search instead of double Pokemon search, it would have just actually been played.
Crasher Wake was never played. That card was insane, but it was like not generic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this wouldn't be that good, but it would be like playable, maybe.
Yeah.
But this is not. This is just really bad.
Yeah. It's like,
if you think about it, it's like -1 as well, which can be good. Sure. But when your supporter is drawing you negative cards, you probably don't want it.
Yeah, sure. Your card advantage is -1
because you can recover from items being discard, like card disadvantage, because you can just play a research or something. But this is just like shrinking your hand and not drawing you anything.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Like, this card, we don't need to even talk about this.
Yeah. Is there anything else to say? But like, it could be good in stage 2 decks, maybe.
So there's literally a supporter that says search your deck for 3 evolution Pokemon, and it's not good.
Screamtail EX. You go
this
ahead,
card is
Landon.
sick. Okay, I think this card is actually like way stronger than people are giving it credit for. 190 HP Psychic Ancient Pokemon. We got Screamtail. It is for a colorless. You can use this attack only if you go second and only during your first turn, but your opponent can't play any supporters from their hand on their next turn. And then medium attack, Psychic, colorless, 120, and you discard an energy from your opponent's active. And then it's Dark Weak, 1 retreat, fighting resistance. This kind of gives me Gengar Mimikyu flashbacks a little bit.
Not really, not for me. I know Cyrus posted, like, Cyrus Davis on Twitter, she posted about Crunch.
Well, think you're going second. You don't really need to attack. You're just playing a setup deck. You go like Town Store for emergency board, retreat into this, attack. Your opponent doesn't get supporters for 2 turns. You get to play 2 more supporters than your opponent does the whole game.
That's true, actually. And
So
then
like you can research twice by the time they get to play their first supporter.
that's kind of true. That's kind of
And then
sick.
you're just so far ahead. Like this is Gengar Mimikyu, I swear, but you just don't have to use your V-Star power. I think this card is like really strong, actually. If you're playing like a slow deck that needs a turn, like this, maybe in Gardevoir,
Yeah, that was
or
what
like
Cyrus was talking about. You go sudden shriek, and then you go like judge crunch.
you don't even have to judge. I just like you just get a free turn to set up, and then like say in Gardevoir, this reads like you could go second, do this, or you probably want to TM Evo, I guess. But then you have like a turn of going refinement, play research, and then they're starting their turn. So you've drawn like 20 plus cards by the time they've played their first supporter.
Yeah.
This card is just sick. And then like think of this like how good this was in Calyrex because you got to like take a free turn of just drawing to attach, drawing to attach, drawing to attach. In that kind of
Yeah,
deck,
true.
like a slower setup deck that has the first turn off, which is a lot of decks because you're waiting to evolve. This is just like
Just go.
almost free turn against a lot of things, especially if they went first.
Yeah, I guess. Like, but then you're playing to the 50-50, and then you have a two prize on your bench for the rest
Well,
of the
you're just
game.
choosing second,
You're choosing second.
maybe, or
Okay.
maybe if your deck wants to go first, then you can do it, or then you have like an option to go when you go second. I don't know. This card is just really disruptive, and Gengar Mimikyu is really strong. I mean,
Uh,
Gengar Mimikyu you could do it any time, which
this
is obviously way better than this,
this card will
but
see a bit of play,
I
but
think it's really adjacent. And the second attack is not bad. The second attack, like Cyrus is probably saying something. Who's Cyrus? Is this?
Cyrus Davis.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, the second attack's
Yeah,
not
I
bad,
don't know.
but
Like you can go Judge Crunch. I don't know. I'm not as big of a fan as Landon is. I think this card
I
is
think this
like
card is like it's not gonna be
fine.
like in every deck, but it's definitely gonna have like a niche somewhere, and it's gonna be really good in that niche. Like you're gonna be really annoyed by this card. I feel.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I could see this card seeing play at some point. I like how they're still doing the ancient and future thing, by the way.
Yeah, it's a bit of a liability to 190 hit points, but you could pretty easily collapse this way, or like Turowit or something in
Yeah,
Gardevoir.
Clash of Turo, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think this card's pretty good.
I could see it. Okay, my Cargo EX from Scarlet Violet 5. Terra. No damage when on bench. I'm so sad that that's what they did with Terra. Fire colorless, 70 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. And for a fire colorless, 140. Each player discards the top card of their deck. This attack does 140 more damage for each energy card discarded in this way. So, this is a straight away 280 with the
So many steps.
with Cybermaniac.
No, they have to just they have to randomly
No, it's
mill
not
energy off
times.
stuff?
It's not times.
Oh.
It's 140 plus 140.
Ah, okay. I thought it was times. This is okay then. But still, you have to go like Magma Basin, attach, and then next turn Magma Basin, or like it's not like you're powering this up in one turn. I guess you have to take
This
a turn
is where
to
you
like
can play Screamtail.
yeah, totally. This would be a really good example of a good Screamtail deck. Because you probably
Yeah.
I don't know if Pugma has one retreat or
I don't think there's ever been a Slugma in the history of the game that has one retreat. It's a
yeah,
slug. It's literally
it's
a
a heavy
slug.
Pokemon. You're probably right, but
Literally a slug.
280 is a good number. Maybe sometimes you get like I feel like if you played this to a regional, you'd probably have a game or two where you do the full damage.
And then your
Or
opponent
probably
goes,
more than a game or two. I probably it's like in a tournament maybe like 4 games.
They should just reprint a Rangaroo. Reprint a Rangaroo. Do it.
Yeah, yeah. This would probably was gonna be really good because my Cargo GX was pretty strong, but that had Welder, which is a pretty big difference.
Also,
and
the thing is, with a Rangaroo, you could then go Team Star Grunt, put it to the top of the deck, and then always guarantee a 420 hit.
was it do 420?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Team
Yeah.
Star Grunt 20.
I don't know. I think Team Stargurn can be like a one up in this deck. You can play Cybermaniac, build your engine around it. 'Cause you can go to like Cybermaniac. You can play a one of Goldango EX in this deck.
Yeah.
You can go Cybermaniac, Goldango, draw one, and then do the 140. That's so
Yeah.
bad. That's so bad.
That is pretty bad.
That is so.
I don't think you're playing Goldango my Cargo. Because you just attack with Goldango for the knockout. So much easier than playing this card.
Sure,
separately.
Goldango's actually good now. Landon's getting mauled.
Kryptomaniac's pretty good, but I still don't think it's great. yeah, I don't have much else to say about Macargo here.
Like, this is its
Really
own
fun
deck.
looking in
This
the
is its
basement.
own deck. You're not teching this into anything. This is its own
No.
deck where you're doing 280 with a 270 hit point thing. Like, I don't know. I could see this actually with TM Eve. Is your dog doing something funny or something?
Yeah, Bean is just like rolling around on the floor. I should have took him out of the room, but it's fine.
Nah, it's fine. I've heard like literally one grunt. It does not matter. I think Turbo Energize with this could be good because you could like Turbo Energize to a Slugma.
Yeah, true. I do really like Turbo Energize. I feel like that's a card that will be good at some point.
Wait, okay, wait.
There's
Quick
no really
detour.
deck
Quick
to
detour.
take advantage of
Is
it.
there a Slugma with 70 HP? If there's a Slugma with 70 HP, oh my goodness, there's like no recent Slugma.
There's so many Slugmas, dog.
Oh my gosh. Is that on? That's fusion. Okay, I'm done.
You know
I
anything?
think Slugmas normally have like 80 HP, so the Arvin engine doesn't fully work with it.
I see.
Because
But
like,
yeah, I don't think this card's great. I don't think this card will be very good unless another card gets printed that's good with it.
yeah, true. I don't know. I could see it. You're doing 280, but I think I'm just like, ooh, shiny new card. Okay.
Blood Moon Ursulina EX. This card is crazy. Ability, Elder's Technique. This Pokemon's Blood Moon attacks, keep in mind only Blood Moon attacks, cost 1 colorless less to use for each prize card your opponent has taken. A little bit familiar. Maybe a Radiant Charizard. Sounds a little similar. And then for 5 colorless, we do 240 with Blood Moon, and this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. And then it has 3 retreat and fighting weakness. So this is a Radiant Charizard. You lose 10 damage. You also get 260 hit points, and you don't need to use fire energies.
That's a lot of hit points, man. I don't know.
So
like,
many.
I see this combo. You know, you can go like Iona to 1, counter catcher, something that's important in their field, and then just go Blood Moon. For free, that's insane. And then being able to use Sharon is
And
also insane.
also-
Colors type.
You can play Radiant Greninja and Radiant Charizard in the same deck now.
That's pretty good.
I mean, 250 and 240 are pretty different numbers, honestly. Like, you can't go into 280 onto V-Stars, but this will get progressively better, I think, as V-Stars rotate out, like as 280 becomes a less good number. I mean, also, this is just obliterating any basic EXs, two-shotting big things, and it just, you Bravery Charm this too. Think of, like, putting this down, maybe, you don't even have to Bravery Charm, 260 is a lot. And Ionoing, like you said, to a low hand size, and just KOing, even with Counter Catcher too. This is just so sick.
Yeah.
And you can
like,
play Charons, like if you're playing Arceus with this.
Like, you can definitely... There are decks, like I know our friend James made a 60 where you kind of just like are slow. It's like, it was like, you remember that Inteleon Radiant Zard deck for Worlds 2022?
Yeah.
It's like that, but you play Blood Moon. Like, you can go Blood Moon into Radiant Zard. It's like crazy. Or Blood Moon into Radiant Gren. Like, you can actually just play
Yeah,
Lost Box.
I think that's a big strength.
You can literally just play straight Lost Box now. Like 2 Cram, 2 Sableye, Greninja, Blood Moon, and then some other random things you want to have, because Blood Moon is just such a good late game attacker that you are able to play a straight Lost Box engine with Radiant Greninja and not have to worry about a big attacker.
Yep.
Blood Moon is that. And then you can play
I
like
mean, this card is
Bravery
just going to be
Charm.
good in everything. It's colorless, so you can just play this in like any deck you want.
True. Like, you can play Bravery Charm in Lost Box now because of how good Blood Moon is. So like now you're
You could already play Bravery Charm. People have played Bravery Charm
I know,
before.
but now you're playing Bravery Charm in a deck that already likes Bravery Charm, and it's even better now because of Ursaluna, and then you can play like Turo or something. Or Sharon.
Yeah, 260 is just gigantico. It's just huge, man. It's just so tanky. And then like even attacking for like 2 or 3 energies, if you have another accelerator somehow, that's still good. But doing like the same thing as Radzard, where you just go like attach, because you can do this at 2 prize cards if they have with just a 1 energy, or even double turbo on this. You're still hitting 220, which is really good.
Yeah, like 220 is still a good number. That's an EX right there.
This card's just gonna be like it's so spreadable too, because it doesn't take any energy, so you can play this in any kind of deck that you want, and then it's just gonna be like such a consistent way to close the game out. And it, like, yeah, combining this with Iono plus any other like catch-up cards kind of thing.
We should for our next YouTube like deck profile that includes Blood Moon or Ursaluna, we should do like I don't know, we should do one of those like ads where it's like, call now for free attacks that do 240, and if you call right now we'll give you 260 HP. You know, like,
True.
it's insane.
This little skit in the coming, but yeah, it's just like this is so highly statted. It's crazy. It's like the stats on this are just huge.
Yeah, bro, not being free retreat makes this card terrible.
You have to balance it a little bit.
No,
It
no,
can't
I
have
was joking.
everything.
I was
If this
joking.
had free retreat, bro,
I
that's
know, but the
crazy.
weakness, they should just get rid of the weakness.
Yeah, no weakness, free retreat, 260 hit points, attack for free,
250.
broken card. You could even easily play this, like I know we were saying Charon, but this is very easily
Also,
turroable because a lot of
I wasn't being for real with the free
I
retreat.
know. This
Yeah.
like yeah, think of your end game with this. You could like they're at 3 prizes. You go attach double turbo 220. Maybe you knock something out with that, or you want two shot something. If they can find a way to kill the first one, you could play two of them and or like recycle it, and then go Iono to 1 attack for 240, or you can turbo with the double turbos. Like maybe you could just play. You can't play this just as its own deck because you don't have any early game. But I could see this with like multiple copies and like turos maybe or something. I don't know. Just there's so many options for this because it's so splashable. You can play this in like literally any kind of deck, and it just closes the game for you.
Yeah.
So
Bloodmoon's good. Wait, is that a
it's sick.
salt lamp
It's
on your
really
camera?
good. Hmm.
Is that a salt lamp on your camera?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, it's not plugged in. You never seen a salt lamp before?
I have. My sister used to have one of those.
Yeah, they're sick. You can lick it sometimes. I lick it sometimes.
Bruh.
You can pretend you're like a cow with the salt lick. And just
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, like your end games are just if your deck has a weak end game, just play Blood Moon, man.
yeah, I don't have anything else really to say about this other than it's going to be really good. You're going to see a lot of this card
You're
because
just
it's
splashing
crazy.
literally anything. Like you can play it in your Lost Box decks because
You
like
could even just play this in like Sable Zard, but just cut Rad Zard for this and then play Radiant Greninja in
and then
Sable
Water
Zard.
Energies and Mirage Gates. It's crazy.
Yeah, like you could just play like this can just be your Radzard in the Lost Box decks that play Radiant Greninja still. It's
Yeah.
so sick.
This card's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one.
Next card. Her unfair stamp. Probably the talking point of Pokemon Twitter for the couple days.
Oh my
This
god,
guy-
this card.
This card's insane. So you can play this card only if one of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck, then you draw 5 cards, and your opponent draws 2 cards. So you're getting a first turn Roxanne, ladies and gentlemen. It's
No, you're
pretty
not. They have to
insane.
kill something.
What?
Excuse me. It's an ice spec. You didn't say that, by the way.
Oh,
It's an ice spec.
Ace spec.
But yeah, you don't really care that you can't do it turn 1 because this is. I don't know if this is better than Prime Catcher, but it's pretty close. Like it's not. It's on par for sure. This is a huge effect. You can go this plus boss in the same turn, kind of like you could do Iono plus Prime Catcher. So if you want to think about it that way, and then like turn 2, say you're playing against like an aggressive deck, they go second, they take a KO, you're like boom, unfair stamp, knockout. You have 2 cards in hand on turn 3.
Blood Moon Ursa Luna.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, this. Think about that. Another sick combo. You go unfair stamp plus Blood Moon attack.
Yo,
you can go
yeah,
boss
you can
and
do
play
that like at any point in the game. Wait, Roxanne's
Well, no,
staying.
because you
though.
can't attack.
Is Roxanne staying in the format?
Oh yeah, it's an Astral
Oh
Radiance, I
my
believe.
god, Blood Moon's
This
so
card is
good.
just
When
sick.
they go down to 3 prizes, you can literally go DTE Roxanne to 2. That's insane.
Yeah. Think about like how good Iono is. But if your Iono just so happened to be an item
That you
and
could
just so
play
happened to put
during
them on
any
2
time.
cards on turn 2 or 3 after they knocked you out.
And the argument that I've been seeing from specifically Jake Gearhart has just been set up your Pokemon first, you know? Just stalemate. 'Cause,
Yeah, maybe this kind of it might provoke some very thought requiring gameplay where you have to think about like, do I even want to kill you here because I'm just gonna get Arvin for unfair stamp because they can find it every time too.
Is Arvin a good card finally?
Maybe I still really don't like playing that card, but I do like it a lot more if it draws me 5 cards.
Man, Gyarados
And
was
shuffle.
so much better than Arvin. Oh my god, grab Drizzile Level Ball.
Yeah, Irida was cracked because you just found all your Inteleon pieces, but
Arvin just feels
this
so
will be really
bad
good with
to
Arvin.
play.
I think all the Arvin will get a huge buff with all the ace specs, especially the tool ones, because finding the tool off of Arvin is what feels really gravy. This card is just like better than Iono will be early game, pretty close to it late game, and it's an item.
Yeah.
So I don't really. It's very obvious this card is pretty.
Card's
I want to avoid broken, but it's like pretty dang good, my friends. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know what else to say. You can also loop this, like maybe this is why Magnezone is good. This is definitely the best ace spec in Magnezone control.
No. I disagree. Because you can only do it a couple of times, and like you're not really gaining too much. I guess you can go unfair stamp counter catcher randomly.
Well, just think this is an item that draws 5 cards as well. If you don't even care about the hand disruption, shuffle draw 5 on an item itself is a really good effect.
That's a broken effect. We've never even
Yeah,
seen
like
anything close
that.
to
If that was just an item that said shuffle your hand to your jack and draw 5, that would be like a game-breaking item. So don't discount the fact that this is also going to be like a turbo card for you during your turn because you're just getting pretty close to a supporter effect on an item on top of the hand disruption.
No, it should be draw 7.
Bro, this could have been like draw 4 even, and it would have been very good.
Oh yeah, easily. But yeah,
But
draw 5.
yeah, this card is unfair stamp in the name. This will create some very unfair games because you'll be in early game board states that have your opponent at 2 cards and you having 5. But this may also encourage a lot more Bibarel and Pidgeot like on board card draw / card search to be played.
So please don't print Path of the Peak and make it so that we have to use Iron Thorns.
I want Garbodor back. Oh, this card. I got this one. This one is really, really sick. Iron Thorns EX. Is it 230 HP? I can't really tell in the... 230. It's 230, right? Yeah, 230 HP, Lightning, Future Pokemon. So this could have had 240, honestly. Ability Initialize. When this Pokemon is in the active spot, Pokemon with a rule box in play, except any futures, don't have any abilities. And then we have Lightning, Colorless, 140, move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your benched. 4 retreat cost, fighting Pokemon. This is really reminiscent of Path to the Peak. It's the same exact effect, but it's on an ability.
And this is Pokemon don't get hit, so you can Iron Crown and do more.
Yeah, you could Iron Crown and do more damage, but this is just gonna be like a really strong disruption effect. It's also gonna stick way more than Path will. They need a boss, which is a supporter effect. There's also no rope anymore.
Unfair stamp Iron Thorns EX is crazy.
Yeah, this is also like you have the future booster, so you're doing 1 or 2. Yeah, 160, so you're doing 320, two-shotting most things. Then you could play, like, even in like, future box decks, you could just play, like, one of Iron Crowns if you're playing multiple Iron Thorns, and then be two-shotting everything with this. Way better than Empoleon V, this is also kind of reminiscent of, because the ability lock is going to be hitting more things than Empoleon was, because Empoleon's ability was really narrow. And then you're also going to be two-shotting everything, which is way better. Because Empoleon was 3-shotting a lot of things because it only did 130. So
140 is kind of huge difference.
Yeah, and then it has like the modifiers. And then you can kind of... Obviously, the 4 retreat cost is huge, but you're going to have maybe a future booster capsule on this.
So it's a 0 retreat cost.
Yeah, like this is going to be like a beast against Charizard because they're not going to be able to use their abilities like ever.
And then they're going to have to boss instead of Arvening.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh my god, into Charizard, you can literally go judge generator spam, dude. Judge.
Yeah, this
Miraidon.
This makes Miraidon having a reason to exist as well. This also could make Future Box playable in like a different way because this could be with 3. You're doing 220 with 3 crowns, 240 with 4, and the booster capsule, which is pretty good.
Yeah, but then also then you also need to charge it up without. I think this.
Well, you could still play Generator, like the Turbo Hands deck we're going to talk about in a bit.
Yeah. Turbo Hands deck. Yeah, you can play like.
You could just play Turbo Hands. Ooh, I could just see the Turbo Hands deck, but no, because the Hands deck just wants to turbo out.
Yeah, you can still play 2 Iron Hands. Like you can play 2 Iron Hands, 2 Iron Thorns, to just pick which one you wanted to use.
Yeah, this is just gonna be like really disruptive. It turns off like a pretty wide range of things, and it's gonna be two-shotting stuff. And then also like in something like Miraidon, the moving the energy away isn't like fantastic because you have to keep attaching to it. But if you're like thinking it's going to get KO'd, then you just get to conserve an energy off of your Pokemon, which is pretty nice, especially in like a Miraidon deck where you're trying to Raichu at some point in the game.
Yeah.
So that could be pretty strong synergy.
It also does allow you to use Heavy Baton. Wait, we didn't talk about Heavy Baton, did we? No, yeah, we did quite a while ago.
Yeah, that card's in Temporal Forces. Yeah, that's true. This and Iron Hands really synergize with that card.
Well, yeah,
I didn't realize Heavy Baton moved to any. I did know it at one point. I forgot that you can move it in any way you like, not just to one Pokemon like Wishful Baton.
Wait, what? That's broken.
Yeah, I saw that on the Japanese Champions League stream when they were playing that deck. He moved the energies in any way he wanted. I was like, what? That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
This card I think is gonna be really strong. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be like a super like staple of the format, but it will like see Empoleon EX or V, sorry, saw a meaningful amount of play, and this will definitely see more play, I think,
Oh
than
yeah,
in
'cause you have
playing.
Iron Crown. Like you can make a deck out of this. You can tech it into
Yeah.
Miraidon. You can put it in like the Turbo Iron Hands deck, which we'll be talking about soon.
Yeah, the
Uh,
difference between two-shotting and three-shotting is huge, and this ability is a lot better than in Play on V's ability.
yes. Okay, we should move on because we are like 40 minutes into the episode.
No way.
Yeah. So hopefully that was good. My goal with this podcast and with recently has just been I want to teach people. I want to teach people things, and I want to go in depth on our reasoning. So I hope that was good.
Gardevoir.
So yeah, let's talk about this. These are our favorite decks going in right now in post row. Gardevoir is, funnily enough, number 1. So this is not the list we would play. This is not the list we would play, but the list we would play is from a friend, and we cannot leak. So
True. USC is real. But Gardevoir, I don't know why people aren't talking about this. It's really good. It's the same. I think I said this already, like the last episode. This is the same premise as pre-rotation Gardevoir. You're a one prize deck that is one-shotting two prizers very easily. And you're drawing a lot of cards still. You lose Mirage Step and the big Gardevoir, obviously. But who cares? It's the same thing. You're still one-shotting stuff. You still have Screamtail. You still have Refinement. It's the same thing. I don't see the difference. It's a little weaker, sure, but the premise is there.
there's also just not that many people talking about it.
Yeah, so it's super on the down low. Yeah, I think Gardevoir is just a really strong thing to think about into EUIC because it's just the same premise as before. It's roughly as consistent. Things change a little bit.
TM
Like
Evolution seems nice for sure.
yeah, you're able to speed up your play a little bit with the TM Evo because you can attack turn 2 after like Refinement a bunch and then just evolving into Gardevoir at the end of your turn on turn 2 if you went second. And then you can play like the Arvins, Ionos. Like this list is playing too many counter creatures for sure, but
yeah, this is just a list I found off Pokeka. This list is
the
actually
Ace spec is really good in Gardevoir. The Hero's Cape.
Hero's Cape's good. So yeah, this deck is very good. It takes good matchups into a lot of the meta. Like you take a really strong Zard matchup.
It's the same matchup spread as current Gardevoir.
Yeah, true. You beat Zard, you beat Lugia. You know, you lose to the future Iron Hands Turbo thing, but like that's kind of
This should probably play Collapse Stadium.
maybe, yeah. True, maybe. Like I could see that. Also, the Mimic QEX is kind of funny.
I think the Mimic X is okay.
Not the Mimic QX, the Mimic Q, like the baby Mimic Q I meant.
Oh. I played the Mimic UX in our like original deck profile just because it's like kind of like a direct swap for Zacian, but I think with the A spec turning like your Drifloon into a really easy one shot that you don't have to give an extra prize card up with Luxcape, there's no real reason to play that. But yeah, Baby Mimic is interesting.
Yeah. Like I think Gardevoir is on the way too much of a down low. This deck is very strong.
This is a very strong play for like this list is not fantastic. Probably should play less, like I said, less
Probably
counter
should
damage
just not
pump
play
seems mid as
damage pump.
frick. Collapse Stadium is really good in this list. You're probably I don't think you need to play Mimikyu. Like why wouldn't you just want to one shot them instead of blocking them out of the game? And then the Screamtail with the A spec is crazy because you're just able to 360 snipe something without giving up the extra prize that Luxcape did.
Yeah, so that's the only reason. That's the only time that the Terra ability is annoying because you can't one shot Zards.
True, that's he was intentional. The Terra abilities for the A spec Screamtail plays.
Yeah,
that's why they made every Terra Pokemon only have a Manaphy built in.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
It is pretty lame. Like think of Ancient Traits and how cool those were, and we could have just had Ancient Traits again.
On stage 1 EXs that have reasonable, like I think
Wait,
Charizard.
I can present to you an Ancient Trait Pokemon.
Bumblebee.
This card is sick, by the way.
I think that they should have kept.
I built
Charizard.
a GLC deck today.
Oh, you built a GLC deck today?
I built Colorless Aggro. It's playing like Squovit, Oranguru, Bibarel, and then like Snorlax, Lugia, and Tauros.
Wait, what? Wait, there's one. Show me these one prizes. What? Show me the Lugia. What's this Lugia one prize?
It's the Celebrations Lugia. It has Arrow Ball. We have Single Strike Tauros up in here. We got a. Should we do a GLC comment section?
No.
I don't think we should. But here, I'll show you.
I'll
Quick hiatus from our real content. We're talking about GLC cards. So is this Tauros from Single Strike one? It does 2 for 80.
What does that even do?
20 plus 20 for each damage counter on it, and it's confused. And then it does 2 for 80. It does 30 damage to itself, 130 HP, so it's pretty efficient. Then you got Arrow Ball Lugia, and then it has 4 energy for 160. And then you got Stomping Star Snorlax.
Oh, W. That's kind of sick.
But anyways, Gardevoir.
Therapeutics in it, right? There's a therapeutic in it?
There is, yes.
Good. Okay. Yeah, so Gardevoir. I think this is very strong. Because, okay, I should probably elaborate on why I think it's strong. This deck is just inherently one of the most consistent decks in the format and is consistently one-shotting literally anything in the active. Drifloon is such an inherently powerful card as... What?
You said inherent like 4 times.
I know, I've said inherently a lot.
You inherently say inherent.
I inherently do say inherently a large amount of times. Yeah, so I think Drifloon is just a objectively strong card, as it is able to, like, with a Bravery Charm and attaching 5 energies without even doing any, like, Moonlit Hill damage pump things. You're hitting for 300 damage. That's KOing Pidgeot. That's KOing Lugia. That's KOing Chenpao. Like, you know. But all of these Gardevoir is... I don't understand why people are not respecting it. You have the Counter Catcher Iona Screamtail plays in the late game. So if you fall behind, you're not even out of the game. Because you just
No, it's so sick.
You go Counter Catcher Iona, Screamtail something. Like, this deck is so strong.
It's literally, I just think it's basically the same as playing against pre-rotation Gardevoir. It's like a little bit different, but if you're playing against it, it's going to feel like the same thing, because they're just going to one-shot you with a one-prizer. Yeah. And or snipe you while they're Ionoing you and counter-catchering you. And it's it's just the same thing. It's just a little bit extra steps.
Yes. So I have played quite a few games of Gardevoir, and I can confirm this.
I also have played quite a few games of Gardevoir, and I really, really like it. I haven't tried that. I wasn't playing with the TM Evo. I was playing with our old list off the channel.
Yeah, TM
but anyways,
Evo, I don't know. It's like
TM Evo is probably better than Great Ball because you get like the aggression. But I do like having it going first. But I think Team Evo is probably stronger. You just choose second, play Arvins. It's fine.
You don't choose second. You still choose first, but you just have a way
Really?
to go going second. I think so. Like, that's what I've been doing.
Okay. Well, what's our next deck, Lucas?
I don't know, man. Gardevoir's so strong. Please, I don't know. Here's my advice to you. I would, because I know this podcast does not get like an insane amount of views. I would pick up the deck, try it, spread it between a few friends, and try to keep it still underground.
He's trying to not leak. No,
Okay.
this is a really good play for EUIC. Gardevoir is currently the front runner, I think, for us.
Yep.
But
so
Baby Moon. This is our list, basically.
This is the list from the channel, except I cut 2 Brute Bonnets for 2 Great Tusks. So I think this list is very strong. I was testing it, and I was testing like a list that played like 3 Roaring Mooniacs from Pokeka, and it just seemed like fine. But the Fluttermanes are so good. Like it's good into Chenpao.
I was hitting too hard on Fluttermane.
It's good into Chenpao. It's so good into Lost Box.
It's broken into Lost Box.
Yeah.
There's no rope either, so you only have to put 1 down.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, it's 4 more ancient cards that you can just discard. Like, this deck is actually able to get knockouts because of the Explorer's Guidance. So there is actually potential for the late game Baby Roaring Moon KO like a 2-prizer instead of having to Frenzy Gouging. Like, there's actually potential there because Explorer's Guidance can literally be use Explorers, discard 4 ancient cards, and then you're doing 50 more damage. So I actually quite like the Explorer's Guidance. I've played a couple games with regular Baby Roaring Moon box, and I've only played 1 game of this Baby Roaring Moon box, but I like it quite a bit because of the Explorer's Guidance. But actually, no, I think I've played like 2 or 3 with this list, but it's fine. So I just think it's good. Explorer's Guidance, I think, is something that I'm going to be trying out. This also takes good Zard matchups, as you can go like Frenzy Gouging, Explorer's Guidance, Drum of Awakening, blah, 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 and then late game KO with the Baby Roaring Moon.
Shout out to the Great Tusk here. I was converted after playing some of the Great Tusk Mill deck. That deck's pretty cool. Lucas changed it, and I like it more than the Brute Bonnets we're playing.
Yeah, because
you just have the option of decking someone out if they're like getting cheeky with their deck size there.
I've heard about it because this deck is... Because it's a 1-prize deck, decks are consistently having to extract resources to constantly be able
play
to
a longer game.
Play with a longer game, and then at the late game you hit them with a Sada's Great Tusk, and they go, damn it, dude.
Yeah, you could. That's true. You could just chain it. But yeah, milling 4 is just a lot, especially in a normal game when they're not like thinking about it, or if you don't like have to reveal it early either. Maybe you could not have to discard them.
I think it's becoming more common, so people are going to think about it more. Like it's in the
these are the kind of plays that really thrive in these new formats because people haven't like thoroughly tested every matchup as much as they would have. Like right now in Vancouver regionals, people have been playing this format for months, and this is
Yeah,
gonna be like
I'm
fresh.
so bored of this format. Oh my god. I
Same.
don't I don't even
It's really
want
boring.
I don't even want to test for Vancouver. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
post rotation more fun. Plus the EV of EUIC is way higher, so testing for the post rotation event is
Sure.
more
That
valuable.
that did kind of sound super entitled. I don't want to test for my regional. So, it's not
No, I
that.
feel you.
I
It's
just don't
like
like this
it's we've
format.
been playing. How many regionals have we played in this format? Four,
5.
five. What was the
So,
fifth one?
not San Antonio. Wait, was it San Antonio?
I think we've played four regionals in this format because we did San Antonio, Portland, Charlotte, and
Oh, I was
Knoxville.
counting Toronto for some reason. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know why.
Toronto was pre.
Way before. We're very lucky for that. Like, we're very lucky to be bored of this format.
Yeah, we've been grinding. This is the most regionals I've ever been to, by the way.
Me too, by
Yeah,
far.
but
And it's also
this
nice
is a really
because it's
efficient
not
one price
just.
deck.
It's kind of nice because it's nice to know that I'm using my prize money for it. It's nice to know that I'm doing it. It's really nice. I've
Yeah.
been enjoying it because I've just been using my prize money from other events to pay for these events, and it's nice, you know.
Yeah, the infinite travel glitch is just being good at Pokemon cards.
I mean, it's not technically infinite, and it's also not okay. It's like okay, I get. That wasn't what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to be the nerd and be like, actually, you'll run out of money eventually. But I was trying to hit you with the you can't go to like the places you want to go a lot of the time. Like I would not have gone.
No, you're still traveling to like random U.S. cities for Pokemon tournaments,
Yeah,
but
I would not have gone to Knoxville, Tennessee if I would have not gone to. I would not have
think
gone to
about
Charlotte, North
the
Carolina if I had the
epicness
chance.
of going to these places you'd never go to.
True, that's cool.
Check 'em
Like
out.
I get to, Pittsburgh was sick. I would have never gone to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh was cool. That was one of my favorite cities I've traveled to for Pokemon.
Yeah, me too, bro. The Pittsburgh Pirates are now my favorite baseball team.
Even though we haven't watched them play, we just
Yeah,
went
we
to the
have not
stadium.
watched them play. We went into their stadium though because our friend Ken is like a huge fan of baseball.
Shout out Ken,
I might
G.
be a fan of the Jays too because I'm Vancouver. It's fine.
Roaring Moon,
Roaring Moon.
very good one prize deck. Very
Drummer Awakening's
disruptive,
kinda
like
sick.
Water Rain. And you
Drummer
hit
Awakening's
numbers
good.
pretty surprisingly quick.
Yeah,
And
like
you also have mill cards.
in the
And you
early
have
game, you're
Frenzy
just
Gouge.
able to go frenzy gouging, and then in the mid to late game, you like two shot with Roaring Moon, baby Roaring Moon. Like the thing is, I think this deck's early game two shots, and then you have like a turn when you frenzy gouging, and then because of all the explorer's guidance, you hit them with literally the late game 330. I did the math, so you have 10, 12, 16, 20, 24, 25, 29 ancient cards. So you're doing 70. You realistically need 21 for 280, so 26 for 33. So 26 is not that hard to hit. That means you have 3 ancient cards still in your deck. So in the late game, like literally last turn
Well,
of the game.
that's pretty hard to hit between your prize cards, but it's not impossible, and
No,
it
in the
probably
late
will
game.
happen
I
on the
mean,
last turn.
I mean on the last turn of the game.
Yeah.
On the last turn of the game, you will most likely have the KO whatever in your active, and that'll be the way you win because of Explorer's Guidance, just discarding so many ancient cards. I think
Also drum
Explorer's Guidance is
money.
something to think about. Pokestop's nice as you're aggressively going through your ancient cards. This is worth. Test this. Good deck. Maybe second Super Rod is worth.
Very similar to Vespiquen. Like Vespiquen was good because early game you're still you're 2-for-2ing early because you're going like two shot with one prizers, and then you transition into the like 1-for-2s, and you also have the 2-for-2s early with frenzied gouging. So
Yeah, like
it's just an efficient deck. It's going to be pretty consistently just putting out damage, which is
And
what you
the-
need to do.
And the Great Tusk Ground Collapse is sick because you're making them extract resources for like 6 turns, dealing with one shots, and then you go Ground Collapse, Ground Collapse. And they go, no. Oh,
Sick.
why did I go out of full screen? Oh, what did I do? Okay.
He broke it.
No.
Next deck, 2 more.
Oh,
You
wait, I
don't
went,
have to
I
listen
went
to us
too
anymore.
far. Okay.
This was my choice, or no, Luke. This is Lucas's choice.
So-
I got the next one.
Lost Box, Darkrai. This was a deck that I thought about. I will be honest, I've not played that many games of this deck, but that is because I am focusing more on Gardevoir and Baby Moon. So I like the idea of this deck. I also like this deck in general. Like this deck is just good. So what you do is your early game is Iron Hands, Ampy very much, or Frenzy Gouging with a Roaring Moon. And then you're gonna go Star Abyss to gain the resources back. Because so now instead of using 2 gates on an Iron Hands, then having to be very cautious with your gates, you can go 2 gate Iron Hand, Star Abyss. Or you can even go like 2 gates and then Prime Catcher, and then go Star Abyss for gate Prime Catcher, gate Prime Catcher something, amp you very much, and then still have the gate for the Frenzy Gouging play. So like this is just a very inherently strong inherently. This is a very strong deck that is able to recover resources that are your power cards. So you're able to recover your power cards with a Darkrai that has 270 HP. I will say it's a bit awkward. This is just there for like the niche usage, not niche, but it's there just for like the games where you're able to pull it off. You'll just win. So you can win without Darkrai, but 1/1 Darkrai is nice. Like it's kind of weird because you sometimes have to lost zone a Darkrai V-Star because your other card's like literally colors and you have a dead hand. But like whatever. But when you pull off that Darkrai Star Abyss, it feels so strong. And I would think that there is a world where you could cut it, but I also want to just try it because I like being able to get back like even Counter Catcher. Getting back Counter Catcher is so good. Getting back a Super Rod in the late game is so good. Prime, I meant Counter Catcher. I said Counter Catcher.
You did.
I know I meant Counter Catcher. But like just even getting back something like Counter Catcher is good. And then for the late game. And you still have the Counter Catcher Roxanne Lost Mine play. You still have the Moonlight Shuriken plays. I kind of want to see, like, if I wasn't playing Darkrai V-Star, I would be playing, like, Lost Vacuums, Forest Seal Stones, Raikou V, and then I would just be going for, like, a Turbo Lost Box Turbo Lost Box route, and then go for, like, turn 1 Moonlight Shurikens, because a lot of the decks in format are setup based right now, because you're playing, like, Gardevoir, and Chenpao, and Zard. So a lot of these decks are setup based, so being able to hit them where they're weak with the Moonlight Shurikens is nice. But also into Zard, like you can just go like Ampy very much, Moon. With the Darkrai V-Star, you can Star Abyss, get the resources back, and they have to deal with things that you're attacking with. Like they cannot just keep a Roaring Moon and play that it's just Frenzy Gouging, or else that card is absolutely insane. So even if let's say you Ampy very much, then Zard KOs in return, then you go Frenzy Gouging, they KO Darkrai V-Star for some reason, and you Frenzy Gouging again, then you're going to Sudden Death against a Charizard deck, and you're just playing Lost Zone, where you can Turbo, and you can go Spit. You're winning Sudden Death.
Yep.
Most of the time.
I don't think I'm a full Darkrai believer. I don't think... Like, you have to get it out. You're not playing... I think you have to play at least an Ultra Ball if you're going to try and play Darkrai.
Sure. Maybe an Ultra Ball would be good. I haven't tested this deck enough, but I did kind of just add the 1/1 Darkrai V-Star line. I think it just has potential.
I think this exact list without the Darkrai is like probably going to be a top tier deck. I don't think Darkrai is like terrible by any means, but like the opportunity cost of cutting Forest Sealstone when you're already encouraged to play more town stores because of the emergency board is pretty high. Like you're cutting Forest Sealstone with Town Store is like really strong. I mean, you also don't really want to play like a Stinker V, but just playing Pidgeot V is probably good enough right now.
Raikou V is also good.
I hate Raikou V. I think that card's really bad in Lost Box.
Raikou V does kind of suck.
Yeah, like you feel so bad when you attack with that card. Like most of the time you're just putting it on a Sealstone it, and then Pidgeot will be better. But anyways, I think that Lost Box will really be transitioning towards more town stores because the emergency board is really strong, and then you can kind of create like a little bit of a toolbox like we see here with the TM Devolution. But I think you could probably just cut the Darkrai V-Star. This is probably what I would do. I would cut the Darkrai V-Star for just like Pidgeot V, Forest Sealstone, and then
I would want a second Lost Vacuum.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You got me there. I really like second Lost Vacuum, especially when you're playing the Sealstone Town Store, because then you can just go Town Store, Sealstone for Vacuum, get turn 1/7 pretty frequently, and then just do the aggressive thing. And getting back 2 item cards is really good, but so is just properly managing your resources. And like you have 4 gates. You usually need 4 gates to win.
Sure, you can just go, I don't know, because then you're going like Iron Hands, and then you have to go like Frenzy Gouging. I mean, if there was a Raihan in
this deck was already good. Like basically this exact deck before. True. With just 4 gates.
Yeah. Because then you can go like Ampy very much, and then go Gouging, Lost Mine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I think I said this like I'm paraphrasing myself from previous episodes. I think Lost Box for losing Kyogre, you have to speed it up a little bit. So kind of bumping up back to Turbo a little bit, playing 2 Vacuum, playing a lot of Town Stores, and playing 4 Sealstones will add a meaningful percentage of turn 1/7s for attacks. And you can kind of just go back to a pretty Turbo list like we used to see with like Dragonite V, and just getting turn 1 Moonlight Shurikens, turn 1 knockouts with Dragonite V, but now we have Iron Hands and Roaring Moon. With just like the really strong late game of Sableye plus like something like Roxanne. Now we have Prime Catcher as well, which is extra good in Lost Box because it's a switch card for your Comb Face as well.
Yeah.
So
So like, what would you cut? So we're gonna cut Darkrai V, start Darkrai V for
yeah,
Lost
for like
Vacuum for
V
Steel
plus
Stone,
for Town Store,
but
and or Sailstone. I'd
Lost
cut
Vacuum
Artisan. You
for
probably
Steel Stone. What like okay? What would you cut for the third card that you want? Like, which is the second vacuum?
I would probably just be playing two Town Store and no Artisan, and then play another switch card here.
No Artisan. Would you
Yeah,
play a
because like
fourth
Town
Friendship
Store is so
Poffin?
good right now with the emergency board.
Would you play a fourth Buddy Poffin?
I'd rather play more Nest Ball first.
You play four
Or no,
Nest
you
Ball.
can't play more Nest Ball. You're playing. I'd play it. I don't know, maybe four Buddy Poffin. I don't think you really need. I think four Nest Ball, three Buddy Poffin, one Hisuian's plenty because you don't really ever want to draw more than one Buddy Poffin. It's not like VIP where double VIP was broken.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, actually, I see this. Yeah, we can just cut vacuum. We can cut Darkrai V Star, and then two Artisans for Town Store Lost Vacuum, Pidgeot V for Seal Stone, and then your deck is just Turbo Lost Box.
Turbo Lost is going to be very good. I'd consider this as well for UIC, but I think we should probably go to the last one.
Yeah, let's go last one. Turbo Iron Hands. This is Landon's
Sick.
suggestion.
This is just the list that won or not won. Did
Top
well
16.
at the Champions League. Yeah, top 16. It's Champions League, right? I'm talking about.
Fukuoka. Champions League.
So this is like Turbo Iron Hands with the Iron Crowns. I wish they were playing four Iron Crowns. You're just gonna get turn one attacks. You're gonna put multiple Iron Hands in play, and you're gonna set them up. You got the new baton. You're going to have generators, and you just attack with Iron Hands. It's really sick.
Landon, I like the counter catchers in this 60. The counter catchers in this list are so sick. Oh my goodness.
I do really like Counter Catcher. I think four is too much. I would like to be playing at least a single boss's order so you can gust without being ahead. But the really cool thing about Counter Catcher is you're really able to like mess with your prize trading because you can go like arm press, and then
No,
like
you go
counter.
Okay, you go Miraidon. The Miraidon dies. Amp you. The Iron Hands. Miraidon dies. Let's say you hit like a two prizer. Then you go counter catcher amp you, and then the Iron Hands dies. Counter catcher amp you. The Iron Hands dies. Counter catcher amp you.
Well, you can't have three Iron Hands dies. You'd lose. But I do like the Counter Catcher. I don't know if you should be playing four. I would like to see like three Counter Catcher, one boss.
No,
I think the Counter Catchers are really good because, like you said, you can let your Miraidon die and then they're on prize. But you could also like let them Miraidon die, Counter Catcher arm press, Counter Catcher arm press, and then you could attack twice with Amp to take your 6. So you can like really abuse the Counter Catcher because you can afford to not take prizes for like that one lull turn where you're setting up damage and get like an extra Counter Catcher usage.
But also, this deck is just going to slack things sometimes. Like, you're,
Yeah, like if you want to beat Lugia, this is the deck for you, man. This deck would like 100-0 Lugia because you're just like amping for 3 prize cards with one shots.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
This deck
This is
also-
also
it's
going to be really
insane.
strong into like something like Zard with the Pidgeots. So you can, I feel like the Zard matchup wouldn't even be that bad because you can take 1, 3, 2 pretty easily. Or like 2, 2, 2, or 3, 3, even if you wanted, with your prize mapping, because you're so easily just able to chain the hands and do more damage. I really would like to see the 4th crowns, because then you could Oko Goldengos with arm press, which would be really nice.
Oh, true. Fourth round could make it so you could carry.
Yeah, because you do plus 80,
Yeah.
plus
Also,
100. Sorry.
is Reboot Pod the best? I don't think so.
I was thinking about. I don't think that you really need the reboot. I think Prime Catcher would be. Oh, I could just see cut reboot, play Prime Catcher over 4th Counter Catcher, and then play like, another like Nest Ball or something. I don't know. The reboot's really good, obviously, because it's just like. Oh yeah, true. The reboot's gonna be like free energy acceleration, but you're like already gonna have a generator, let's say, plus Miraidon, so that's 4 in play, and then you have heavy batons, so you're just gonna be able to like consistently set them up.
And this deck
I'm
is
just curious,
based
like,
around using iron. And this deck is based around using Miraidon, so it's like not like it's not one of those. Oh, I'll use Miraidon if I have to. Reboot Pod, I think, is actually just better. I think the spot is better allocated to Prime Catcher.
Yeah, it could be. I also would like to mess around with the supporter count a little bit. I don't know how good the new supporter. I think that card is like pretty strong. I forget what it's called. Morty's Conviction. Yeah. That one is you discard a card from your hand and then draw a card for each of their bench Pokemon. So it's kind of like Zinnia's, just you don't have to discard 2. It's just 1.
Yeah. So like, let's think about this. If you're playing, let's say we cut Reboot Pod, could Counter Catcher for Prime Catcher 4th Iron Crown. Your Chen Pound matchup automatically becomes very good.
Oh,
You're going,
you're trying to match up sick.
you just go arm press, and then you go amp you, and you're just the faster deck. So
I don't. I think this deck is like legitimately very strong. The one guy, I guarantee you, only that one guy played it in the room because who else cooked up this madman pile? And he did really good, top 16 in those huge events. Best of one is ruthless. This is just gonna be so aggressive.
that goes to show how consistent this deck is.
Yeah. Your turn one attacks are going to be so frequent because you're playing 4 booster capsule, 2 town store, so you have 6 switch cards basically. Plus you have Arven, which is going to guarantee it pretty well. You have Techno Radiar, which is better than VIP in this deck.
3 gift energy is nasty.
And the gift is so sick because you just present gifted Iron Hands, and then you're just like guaranteeing the next Iron Hands because you present gifted batoned hands, and then they can Iono you. Sure, I'll kill it. Or they can boss around your hands, and then you just amp you very much again with one of your counter catchers. This list is like sick. The 4 Arven plus 4 counter catcher, you just have Gust like whenever you want it. I guess the Arven is going to be really good with the reboot pod, but I mean the Arven would also be very good with Prime Catcher. You just have to see when you're playing counter catcher, it might be deceiving how easy it is.
Sick. Arven you could literally have 5 Gust options.
With if you have 4 Arven, you're literally playing like 8 Gust cards in your deck, which is crazy.
You're playing 9
Prime. Well, if you played 4 counter catcher plus 4 Prime,
3 counter catcher plus Prime plus 4 Arven.
Yeah. I could see one of the gift energies becoming like 14th Lightning. Personally, I could see that.
I could see that too. Actually,
your generator ratios. The generator ratios are also going to go down pretty quickly because you're using Rhydon's attack and you're pulling energy out.
We gotta cook the refined Super Mega Turbo Iron Hands.
Oh yeah, I'm not joking. Like this deck is not a joke. This deck is super sick. I have not played many games with it, but in the games
was in Mexico, guys. Don't expect him to play many games.
Yeah, I was gaming on the beach, bro. I was playing Bloons Tower Defense 6 like a boss.
Oh my god, let's go, my god.
Playing with my dart monkeys, but
for real.
Think of how good MP very much was.
Imagine not
before.
Playing Power World.
I don't have a Steam Deck. I need to get one. But now you can literally amp for 220. It's busted. If you had played 4 crowns, like you're playing against Chen Pao, you're like,
oh my god,
sure,
you can literally
thanks, buddy.
3
prize cards. Cool.
That's funny. No, I like that. This deck's sick. Like
you're able to 2-shot things like that are Zards. Like you can 2-shot Zards, but take 3 prize cards. So you're taking 1.5 prize cards a turn. Or you can 1-shot basic EXs with arm press.
Wait, your
or
line into Zard
you can 1-shot. What?
Your line into Zard could literally be arm press. Like you could not take prizes and then go arm press, amp you very much, and then go Prime Catcher, KO the Pidgeot.
That's literally what my strategy was with Miraidon pre-rotation. So this deck is just like the same strat.
Wait, this deck just needs a boss's. Yeah, this deck just needs a boss's orders, and the Zard matchup is like cleared.
I literally said play boss, and you were like, oh.
I realized, okay.
But yeah, this deck is super sick. The guy that made this is cooking. Play 4th Iron Crowns, and you're gonna win some games.
Maybe
this deck
play
is probably
14th Lightning Energy.
Yeah, this deck is also just like really fun. You're just like, okay, just throw all your stuff on the board. Yeah, you also, I guess your generator ratio is kind of similar to Miraidon, are gonna thin really quickly because you have Techno Radar.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is sick. We have like the 4 Arvens, 4 research, so you can get your generators pretty consistently. I thought about
Iono
maybe
is also nice. Late game disruption.
Yeah.
With this deck is also wicked.
But with the combination of so many counter catchers, you can go Iono counter catcher like multiple times in a game, which is really good.
That's crazy.
Maybe consideration for Pidgeot v Sealstone with a heavy town store count. Maybe
I
with
don't
the
think we
Arvens
have room
too.
for that.
I
disagree.
You're playing 4 Arven and 2 town store. I'm not saying you should. Consideration.
Disagree.
Okay.
Veto.
You can veto my consideration of a card. Sounds good.
Nah, I'm joking. It's definitely like something to think about.
It would greatly synergize with adding more copies of Nest Ball, but you could just go Arven for Sealstone Nest Ball.
That is kind of nice. Yeah. Yeah. True. You could grab Prime Catcher Sealstone. It's pretty sick. Yeah. Broken. No, I like that. I think Pidgeot Sealstone could be.
I probably won't play it. I just think it's like something to think about. Because it's really easily accessible to hit your 4 seal.
Yeah, you would like it. You would definitely like to have a Sealstone target.
Yeah, if you were playing Vs, you totally would play Sealstone. But you're just like so incentivized to have like a full bench of like crowns because you want all the damage. So your bench is probably full most of the time. But or maybe not.
Because you like one Baby Miraidon. Maybe you could fit it in one Baby Miraidon.
No, you're not cutting them right on for it. I just like saying like your physical bench space is probably like 3 crowns, 2 hands, and an active Pokemon. Okay, no, you definitely would have room for a Pidgeot. I think Pidgeot V might be something to think about here.
Yeah, because Pidgeot Sealstone could like, I don't know. You
Yeah,
could
because
hit
then
your
late game,
combos.
like you could have Gift Energy active, bench Seal Stone to Pidgeot, and then you just have Checkmate on board.
True, true. I don't know. My only thing is like space because there's so many insane cards in this deck.
Oh yeah, I think it's
That's really
I'm
the
gonna
only thing.
try Pidgeot V here,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. No, it's a thing to try for sure.
or you could just play Raikou V.
True. Wait, yeah, you could just play Raikou. No, do you want to play
You're
Raikou?
probably never attacking with Raikou.
Yeah, you're never really. I think Pidgeot's better.
Yeah, or maybe Rotom, because then you're just going first. You could put it down, but you don't want that sitting on your
True.
bench. The nice thing I think about Pidgeot is you could just clear the bench slot
Rotom
once
could
you
hit
don't
for
want it anymore.
240.
What?
Rotom could hit for 240. Lost zone the 6 tools.
I forgot about Rotom's attack. That's actually kind of funny.
Wait, is Rotom?
But-
Okay, wait. Second detour of the
This
podcast.
final detour.
Does Rotom V do from board or does it do from discard? From your discard pile. Never mind. Very low chance.
Anyways. That's Turbo Hands. I think that's the episode. Unless you have anything else to like add, Lucas.
I don't know. I think I've been really enjoying post rotation.
Yeah, I think summary of our current testing. Lucas has tested more than me. Gardevoir is like the deck that's probably the most promising so far for EUIC.
Pretty good.
But
Pretty good deck.
I think I want to put a lot more testing in this Iron Hands Turbo thing because this would be really fun to play a Brain Dead deck. It would. I really like playing Brain Dead decks because it's just
Gardevoir's
easier.
gotten a lot simpler though. I think you're thinking about current day Gardevoir. Gardevoir's gotten a lot simpler.
Yeah, you don't have as many like intricate plays with like the Arcana stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that I can't play those kinds of decks. It's just nicer to not have to play them.
Definitely only won Portland because you played a Brain Dead deck.
True. I mean, I would argue Rapid Strike is pretty hard. I did pretty good with that.
Nah.
But not
Veto.
to.
Oh wait, I just made a W. My
My
bad.
point is, playing simple decks is sick because
Oh,
then
yeah.
you win faster, you lose faster. You don't have to think. You don't have mental fatigue. You can have a snack, play some balloons. Tower Defense 6 definitely sponsored. Just kidding. I wish I was sponsored.
What? No, you do not.
If Balloons Tower Defense 6 offered to sponsor the podcast, bro, we're taking that in a heartbeat. Are you
Okay.
kidding?
I'm down. Balloons Tower Defense 6 sponsor us,
Please
please.
sponsor us, Balloons Tower Defense 6. Please, Kiwi Games.
Kiwi Games.
That's the
Kiwi?
creator of Blonde's
I
Kiwi.
love that. Kiwi Games goes hard.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
were we talking about before that? I don't know.
Maybe future Iron Hands box thing.
Oh, yeah. The deck is sick.
The deck
Play
is
that deck.
really strong. I don't know. Cut Reboot Pod for Prime Catcher, in my opinion. Cut Counter Catcher for like 4th Iron Crown. I would probably cut Gift Energy for 14th Lightning Energy. And then maybe that's kind of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it. So, I think that's all I got to say. Is that all you got to
Cool.
say?
Me too, man. I'll do the true.
Thank you guys.
Oh, actually, before we go, I want to say some things. I think me and Lucas, we're going to get together this weekend, make a bunch of stuff for the channel. And I think we're also going to work on like an upload schedule to have moving forward. And we're going to work on like having content backlogged so that we can keep up with a consistent schedule. So I think that would be the best way to do things.
Yeah, we're sorry about the podcast with last week.
Yeah. I had an awkward string of like being on the road for work and then going straight on vacation. So I was kind of absent for like more than 2 weeks. So it made it kind of hard to have things. But
True.
we're gonna build some infrastructure to have things operating more smoothly moving forward. We're learning as we go, and it's gonna be sick. Don't you worry.
Learning as we go. We got the backlog content coming up. I'm trying to get more skits for the YouTube videos because I was telling Lana
Skits are
before.
sick.
I was telling Lana before the recording that I actually recording the Baby Roaring Moon deck profile skit was probably one of the. It was like a very wholesome memory for me because it was 10
It's
p.m.
really fun.
There was 4 friends. We walked to a park in the middle of the night, and we recorded it. And also it was fun because when we were going back, they were telling us about how they used to go into back alleyways and like scream pretty much.
No,
Remember
they
that,
would have
Lennon?
like
Super Saiyan boss fight things. Super
what was
Saiyan
the
boss
show?
fights.
It was from like Street Fighter. They'd be like pretending Hadouken,
No,
but they
yeah,
just like,
Goku. Like
scream
Dragon
louder.
Ball Z, where it's like,
I don't know, the Dragon Ball Z. Never mind.
and then they would actually
Yeah, they
just
don't
full
scream.
on scream. And the back
Yeah.
alleyways at 3 a.m. And the guy, quote unquote, said, I found it funny because I knew if I woke up, if I was in one of those houses that I was screaming next to, I feel like waking up in a panic and be like, "What the hell was that?" at 3 a.m. So that's why he thought it was funny. And
Yes, disturbing the peace, epic,
yes,
love it.
ah, yeah. I
But
don't
yeah,
know. What I'm saying is like I enjoy recording the skits. I think they're funny and I think they
yeah,
separate us
we're
from
gonna get more of
other
them for
channels.
sure.
But I will say I think we come to the conclusion we'll do it when we can. But also if it's literally holding us back from uploading a video, we're just gonna upload the video without the skit.
Yeah, I also think we could do them as shorts. Some of them.
True, maybe.
We've got
I
to
don't know.
experiment with the
I
shorts
hate
algorithm,
YouTube
man.
Shorts, bro. I hate shorts. I hate them.
I think they're kind of fun. I think if you're doing them and it's not just like brain rot content, then it's cool. But the problem
Isn't
with
skits
shorts is
literally brain rot content?
no, it's showing off like creativity. Like there's an artistic component. Like we have to make up the skit. Like we made up all like the little stories of the skits, and then we had to like figure out how they were going to be edited. And
True.
you know,
We did stay up till like literally
yeah,
3 in the
we were
morning
literally
thinking
we
of
sit there. We
Amanda's
were like
one.
3 hours of brainstorming for skits at one point. So
And
I think
I literally couldn't take it and I fell asleep on the couch.
yeah. But anyways,
That's it.
more content. We're gonna
Yippee.
work on making structures to have
Everyone
it
scream at
hang
Landon
out.
for going on vacation.
Yeah,
And
sorry
it's
guys. I
okay.
had some fun. My bad. It's terrible.
Yes, very bad.
But anyways, I think that's been this week's episode of the Lost Mine podcast. Again, apologies for missing last week, but I was just having barrels of fun down in Mexico, so I couldn't
Freaking
help
nerd.
it. I know. But yeah, this has been the Lost Mine podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed our insights onto some of our post-rotation decks we've been testing and some of the new cards from the post-temporal forces set. So we're thinking about future cards and ancient cards at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for listening / watching. If you are on YouTube, please consider giving us a like, a comment, and a subscription to the channel. And if you're on Spotify, please leave a 5-star review. Lucas will actually upload it to Spotify this time at the same time as YouTube. So this has been...
okay. You're okay. We'll talk about that after the video.
I know, I'm just giving a hard time.
I know.
This has been the Lost Mine podcast. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.